Hi there, Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Okay, date is 8th December 2022. Time right now is 3:30 in the morning. So if I look a little sleepy, work. Okay, not YouTube work, clients because of the promo, end of the month, end of the year. Okay, I'm giving a special discount, whatever. Okay, now this is a news that generally speaking, I wouldn't have been too bothered about it. But then, as you grow older, you begin to realize what is happening maybe in a country or politics can sometimes really leave you in a thought-provoking state, or rather, it educates you. So, it's very surprising to see that I'm speaking about Indonesia, even though I don't stay in Indonesia, even though I have nothing related to being in Indonesia. But then why am I talking about it is what I'm going to share in this video. And yes, I'm going to definitely give you my thoughts on Indonesia bans sex outside marriage in a new criminal code. Now, before I do move further, I'll be honest with you. I've never been to Indonesia. I do not know Indonesia. And if you're like me, you'll just read about Indonesia. So now the question is, why should it matter? Whether they change their laws, whether they ban sex, don't ban sex, whether they convert to whole country becomes a Muslim country, let's say they get rid of democracy, or they become a Christian country, how does it matter? Because, one thing I've realized as you get older, what happens in one country does have a domino effect on other countries. And it's always good to update your knowledge. For me personally, after I read the article, at first I didn't give a damn. But then when everyone was talking about it, I did a little bit of research. In order to make this video, I had to make research. And that opened my mind and horizons. Bloody hell, how much I did not know. Seriously, imagine, in a day and age of the internet, I found out stuff that I really did not know. And that made me think, oh. And then that, when you're well informed or you do a little bit of research, it opens your mind and makes you think, what if they would do this in my country? What if they would do this to certain categories of our lives? And how the government can actually impact and influence your life, especially in today's social media age, privacy age. So I want you to watch this video with an open mind and give me your thoughts on what you think is being shared here. Okay? Because it's not just about Indonesia bans sex outside of marriage. It is rather a country's government, if it changes its rules so powerfully and drastically, how it would impact citizens, visitors, expatriates, and let's say even the economy, the business people. So it's a very thought-provoking exercise. So watch the video. And if I'm wrong anyway, please feel free to correct me. Like I told you, I have not been to Indonesia. This is just my research. Okay. So links are put down below. So here what it says is Reuters, the Indonesia's parliament passes a controversial new criminal code. Okay. Now, first I'll give you my research. These were shocking. To me, this was like, oh, bloody hell, this really is. Indonesia is the third largest democracy in the world. This I did not know. I was like, oh, okay. Because when you think of Indonesia, you think Muslim, okay, Muslim country. You don't think democracy. So I was surprised to know that this was the third largest democracy in the world. The second thing that shocked me even more is in certain polls or certain international ratings for democracy and freedom and all that, it ranked higher than India. I was like, are you serious? Indonesia ranks higher than India? So that I found a little surprising. Okay, the part that is not surprising is 88% are Muslims in Indonesia. Out of this 88%, 99% are Sunni. So 88% are Muslims. And in this 88%, almost 99% all are Sunni. And this is the part I found very strange. All these religions which are there, like Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, and all that, it seems they live together more or less in harmony. So that was kind of, okay, good. All right. When you think of Muslim, you'll think of Saudi, you'll think of Pakistan, you think of Muslim countries, okay? You think of Arab countries. And then you obviously have an image of Muslim or Islam with very strict laws and all that, which Indonesia is such. But you generally, when you say Muslim or Islam, you don't think that they live together in harmony. That's a very rare thing. We have seen what happens when, especially hardline extremists, at least that is what the Western media shows. So for me, this was like, okay, nothing but respect to these guys. All right, so now I will give you the articles or the laws that they have passed, which kind of really surprised me. If you have sex outside marriage, that means you're not married, 1 year jail. If you're a married person and you have sex with somebody else, and here's a funny thing, anyone complains, anybody, your friend, your neighbor, your enemy, anyone, you're minding your own business, it's quiet, you can be jailed. Okay? Then, if you are the same gender, many of you do not like gay relationships, you can be jailed. And here's the thing, if anyone not related to you, anyone who's your enemy, complains that you are same gender and they find you guilty with however, I don't know how they work, there also you're jailed. Article 419, if you live together and you don't have a relationship, 6 months jail. So you can be friends. You can consider this is like my brother or like my sister. And then imagine if two guys stay together and someone says they both are gay. I was just thinking, okay. Article 421, if you act indecently or anything that is construed as indecent, let's say two guys holding hands, jail. I'm just assuming because two men holding hands, that can be looked as gay kind of. Just imagine guys holding hands together. Before it was harmless, but nowadays, if guys in India, we see so many guys holding hands, they're not gay friends. But in USA, the two guys holding hands and walking together, of course, you'll think they're gay, right? Okay. Article 414. If you offer advice to anyone below the age of 18 with regards to contraceptives or provide real healthy sex education, you'll be jailed. Schools also, I don't know whether they can or cannot offer this, which I think is very necessary. Article 415, 470, 471. Only a doctor can perform abortion, which means if anyone who's not a doctor performs an abortion, which also means if you take a pill, just a small pill, and the baby or the fetus or whatever dies, you'll be jailed 5 years. Okay. And you'll be thinking, what has this got to do with us, man? Let them jail them, let them. Okay, here's the thought that came to my mind. When you talk of Indonesia, you have places like Bali, Jakarta, you have, beautiful places like Komodo, Lombok. Okay. See, today, at least today, we are living in a world where people, remote working, which is there, then people traveling around the world, people changing their country of residence. We have reached a day and time in our lives where people no longer want to be in the same country. They want to change and move around. And as people get more choices, more freedom, they choose a certain country to start their lives. Now, just imagine if you or me or anybody else decided to uproot our lives from where we were and we go to a new country, okay? And all of a sudden they decide to change this rule. Don't you think it would impact you? Don't you think it would affect you? I personally know a lot of people who are in Bali and who want to be single, who don't want to be married, but they have a partner, they have a friend, live in relationship. Now, does that mean if they have to continue their relationship in order to stay and they have to forcefully get married? Is forcing someone to get married the only solution? I'm asking you. You just, which I did in UAE. In order to survive the rules of the country, I just namesake got married to my partner who was staying and then got divorced. Now, you might say, yeah, that's harmless. But then what are we doing? The sacrament of marriage becomes a joke, right? And the stigma In some cases where you have maybe the girl is actually in love with you, but you don't want to get married, but just want to accommodate for the financial goals of the country, you're taking the girl for a ride, isn't it? See, think of all these various situations, man. Okay, forget all that. Let's say you move to Canada. Okay, your father, mother spent all the money in the world and sent you to Canada. And you just started there, you just landed there. And suddenly the Canadian government says, after you 6 months being there, okay, these expatriates who are come here or immigrants who are come here, before we promised you, maybe you'll get citizenship. I'm sorry, now you can't. You have to go back to your country, you have to apply from there, get proper education. They'll change some rule. Don't you think it'll affect you? I know you'll say, Loy, you're going too far off. This has nothing got to do with us. All I can tell you is, if I've always seen this happen, if one country starts changing its rules, somehow that behavior pattern goes to another country. Case in point, USA and Canada. You remember the transgender movement? It started off with policing the speech. You have to call someone with he or she or they or them, whatever pronouns they like. And Jordan Peterson, that time he was not known or famous. He said, I'm not going to keep quiet if you police my speech, you legalize my speech. I have to say whatever you want me to say. At that time, we all laughed. Today, it's become a criminal offense if you call someone with a pronoun that they don't like. Canada, which is supposed to be so modern, even a small boy or girl, if the boy and girl wants a sex gender change surgery and you stop it being a parent, they have the right to take the child away from you. Just see how extreme it has gone to. Nobody thought it would go to that extreme, but now this is a reality. They have made it easy for a boy or girl to change their gender. And in some parts of Canada or US, even the government will pump in the initial money to help that youngster or the child have that change, the gender. It is so okay to see Cardi B twerk her rear end and open her legs and talk about, feminist empowerment. But if someone like Andrew Tate speaks about men need to be responsible, one guy gets banned, one other person gets okay. In US, how many schools are allowing what is it, drag queens, men who dress up like women and show their private parts, and strip clubs to perform in front of small children, and they're saying it's okay. This is the crazy world that we live in today. So when you have a country that suddenly changes its law, where it was supposed to be a democracy, and you say, no, now you're not a democracy. Where before it was okay to live with a partner as long as you're not doing anything. It's the right to privacy. You're not hurting, harming, and do your own thing. But now, no, we need to know what you're doing with your personal life. Your personal relationship becomes a government mandate. I think it is slightly disturbing, man. I really think that will leave you a little disturbed. And maybe you'll not care about it now, but the day it comes to you, your personal life, it will affect. Case in point, in India, let's say a boy and girl, they're together, they're not hurting, harming anyone. But just imagine now, some guy, some police says, what is your relationship with them? What are you doing together? Moral policing, like they call in Iran or any other country. And then they can even beat you, they can even hit you, they can fine you, they can put you in jail. Because they have created this new rule that I want to know what relationship you both have. You have to legalize it. Before it was okay. So where do we stop? And then what if tomorrow they say, I need to know what is on your phone. I need to check all the apps. I need to know where you went. I need to know who you're texting. Where do you stop? See, always remember, they don't stop at step one. If you allow step one, goes to step 2, 3, 4, 5, it never stops. And then when it becomes too late, it's only then when people wake up. For me, what I look at it as is a violation of personal rights. And if Indonesia can do it, the question is why other countries can't do it. And if they can do in terms of policing your relationships, if they can suddenly, you know, start violating your privacy, where do you stop? You can check your computer, you can check your smartphone, you can check your personal correspondences. They literally police you and tell you where you're going, what you're doing, everything I need to know. Is that the world that you want to live in? That they can spy, which Edward Snowden and what is that other guy's name? Julian Assange already have exposed, right? So think about what I've said. Think about what I've said and let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's not okay? And this is exactly why I take such a deep interest in the politics of other countries and uh, places, because remember, it'll have a domino effect, and other countries will soon decide, oh, okay, if Indonesia did it, why can't we? And then by the time this becomes normal, it'll be way too late. Anyway, good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.